Empire. I'm just about to go and interview Bruce Airhead before the show starts. Come on, let's go and check it out. Hi Bruce.
G'day.
So when was it that you first saw a balloon and thought, I'm going to get inside that?
Well, the funny thing is, I hadn't seen a balloon. All I'd heard of was that these balloons that you can get into. And I was at my magic club in Cardiff, and it's slightly surreal. I heard one clown talking to another clown, and the clown said when he was in Spain, he saw a clown get inside a balloon. And I turned to as you do. And I turned to my mate, who I was having a conversation with, and I said, I'd love to try that one day. And then my friend overheard that conversation, and the next day he was at the NEC in Birmingham at some convention, and he remembered this remark I made. So he just swiped this balloon from the stand. He came up to me the next day, and he said, there you go mate, get into that. And I said, what are you talking about? Because I'd forgotten about it.
Yeah.
He tried his mouth off. And he said, last night you said you wanted to get inside a balloon. There's a balloon, now get in it. And he forced me, almost physically forced me to get inside a balloon. And that was the first time. I didn't know how to do it, I'd never seen it done, I didn't know anything. And we stayed back from the Magic Club late one night. A few mates, we had a few beers, and got some oil, stripped off, because I thought that was what you had to do.
And that was that.
Oiled up, and I still have a picture, an image, from that very first time that I got inside a balloon. And when I got inside my very first balloon, it was like a eureka moment. It was amazing. It was
You
fantastic.
knew that was going to be...
Yeah, and I thought there's something to this, you know, and then it was incredible.
Good mix. So where did you get the idea for your name, Bruce Airhead, from?
The idea came from, I'm Australian, so I wanted some Australian in there somewhere, so I came up with this archetypal name of Bruce, and I thought, like, Bruce is good. And then I thought Airhead just wrote well. It looked good on a sandwich board or on a stage or whatever, you know, so then it had this ring to it, sort of Bruce Airhead. And I've gone through phases where I don't like the name, but it's sort of stuck. And at some point you've got to make a decision.
Catchy.
The agents say, well, what's your name? And you go, Bruce Airhead. And then you're stuck with it. But I think it's
Memorable.
Yeah, it works.
So what was it like performing on Britain's Got Talent?
It was amazing. It was fantastic. Really good. Huge exposure. Lots of people. I wasn't nervous, which was good because I've been doing it a little while, so I wasn't nervous, and everyone else was nervous. And I tried to treat it as just another day at the office.
Yeah.
And be cool. And yeah, it was a good experience. I've done a few TV experiences, and it's the live programs that do have this edge. That do have this edge. And the studio ones, you can cut, you can break, you can do all sorts. But when it's live, you know you're out there.
Yeah, you're there in the throne.
Yeah, that's great.
So your name is abbreviated to BA. If you was to look at some of the other elite entertainers, who would be your A team of elite entertainers if you can only pick three? Who would they be?
Three, like people that I admire and look up to kind of thing. I do a lot of cabarets in London, and I quite like the quirky side of the cabarets.
Okay.
So one of my favourite performers is a performer called Frank Sinatra. I think he's fantastic, Frank Sinatra, and I like Frank Sinatra because he splits an audience. Half hate him, half love him. Well, half don't hate him, half are not quite sure whether they should laugh or not because he's so edgy and so on it.
It's an awkward moment, is it?
Yeah, and you can feel the tension in the audience, you know, and they're not sure whether they should laugh, and half the audience are just cracking up because this bloke is hilarious. I really rate Frank Sinatra. I also like an outfit called the Chipolatas. They're sort of three street guys. Not street guys, but they do sort of street music kind of stuff, and they're just on it. And they're creative and they're inspirational, and I've given with them sort of loads of times over the years. So our paths cross every year or two or something like that, and you can see each other's progress and stuff like that. So that's quite nice. And the third one who I would have on the bill is Woody Bob Marley.
Okay.
He does this mad thing about rice. It's too difficult to explain, but it's
any
mad.
kind of rice?
Any kind of rice. It's called the Record Graveyard. Is his slot that involved like tons and tons of rice sprayed out to the audience and thrown up at everyone. And once people know his act, they arrive at his gigs armed with loads of rice, and they throw it back at him. So there's this rice thing going everywhere, and he's throwing it, and they're throwing it. And the big finale bit is he got this bazooka of rice, or like a rice gun, and he bazookas it's like 3 kilos of rice. It to the audience for the finale to eat.
There's some great entertainers tonight. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah.
Beardy Man and
Beardy
Pajama.
Man, Pajama Man, and
Yeah.
Tim Vine,
That
Jimmy
should be
Carr,
good.
yeah.
There's a few Bruces in the entertainment world that are really famous and been successful, and some of them not around anymore. Bruce Lee, Bruce Springsteen, Bruce Willis, Bruce Forsyth.
Yeah.
Any of the Bruces that you particularly identify with and why?
Probably Bruce Willis, because I used to have a part-time job as a looky-likey of him in a crowd, because the certain likes and the baldness of the head, and the fact
Comedy is your forte.
the fact that my wife used to look like Demi Moore. But yeah, Bruce Willis would be my man, because I think he's pretty cool. I like his action shots.
Cool. So if you were a scoop of ice cream, what scoop would you be? What flavour?
White chocolate.
Ooh.
White chocolate ice cream is the best, man. You've got to go for
It is good,
Chunky
isn't it?
lots, yeah, it's great. So I'm definitely a white chocolate fan.
And obviously ice cream is really cold on the North Pole, so if you were stuck on the North Pole and you could have 5 items, what would you take with you?
Oh God, 5 items in the North Pole. A warm jumper,
Right.
a wood-burning stove to keep me warm as well. I would take something warm to cuddle up to, and that could be a person or an animal, but something to sort of keep you going in the middle of the night. A book to read, and that's 4. And what would be the last thing I would want in the North Pole? It's really interesting. North Pole. I don't know, some food,
Yeah.
Some food, a big
That would
stock
be
of
good.
lana.
You need some food, yeah.
Lots of white chocolate.
I see.
Yeah.
So where can we look out for you? What sort of, where can we keep up to date with your goings on, your bookings and your
well, anywhere
finales?
and everywhere. But on my website, I do have a diary page which lists all my confirmed gigs. So anyone goes to the website, they look on the diary. That's where I am. And sometimes it's local, sometimes it's not. I'm really pleased. I just got 3 weeks booked in Hanover in Germany in July. So I'm going to go to Hanover and do these sort of slightly streety kind of shows. And I'm determined to learn a bit of German.
Yeah.
So I can get up there and give it to them in German.
In German?
In German. Maybe not all of the show.
So have you
but
got a German finale as well?
No. You don't ask, you get Elvis, and that's it. It's just funny. But I could think of a German finale.
Yeah.
I always say to my agents, with the finale, the answer is always yes.
Yeah.
And they sort of say, what do you mean? I say, the answer is yes. Have you got
You can come
say
out-
the thing finale? Yes. Have you got? Yes. I can do anything.
You could come out as a huge Frankfurter or something.
Well, the best thing about stuff like it is footballers, local footballers,
Mm.
because they love it. I did some gigs in Holland recently, so we had orange balloons.
Okay.
Because I was there and came out as, I don't know who it was, but some orange footballer with an orange strip and holding a football and some sort of mask that they had of him. And the people were just absolutely gobsmacked, because for that instant they were convinced I was, whatever his name was. And they had to sort of blink, because all of a sudden, this little kid after the show was great. He said to his dad, I overheard him, he said, that was amazing. He said, one man went inside a balloon and another man came out. He thought there was 2 people. Right?
Yeah, no, you've got some really amazing sort of finales, and you've got festive ones for Christmas and all sorts of
The most surreal one I had was Mirrorball Man. And some whiskey company came up with this idea. Mirrorball Man was their mascot, and it had a full-size motorcycle helmet with Mirrorball effect on it. It had a big suit that you had an inflator that you had to inflate around you, and you burst a balloon and you were there in this. All this had to be done inside the balloon.
Yeah.
Technically, really difficult.
That sounds
A bit
really
weird.
difficult.
A bit weird, I know, a bit weird.
Major oiling up.
Yeah, no. And that was slightly surreal, because that was in China and it was in the Forbidden City. And I remember on this podium, standing on this podium, just about to do my act, and I looked over to the wall and the door was slightly open and you could see Tiananmen Square and the Communist Party headquarters there. And I was on it and I just thought, this is just too surreal.
Yeah.
This is just too mad, it's too abstract. What am I doing here? That was fantastic, being a miracle.
Well, thank you very much,
Sure.
Bruce Airhead, for your 9 scoops today.
You're welcome.
And I hope you have a really good show.
Thanks, mate. Yes,
We'll be
you got it.
watching.
Hey. Hi, I'm Bruce Airhead. Keep it Mellow 9.